I have one.
How's it
Hello.
going?
All good. All great.
Love to hear it.
Uh, I keep myself muted most of the time because I'm sitting in a quite big uh, facility here with lots of people that are talking.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. We'll give it a couple moments for folks to join. I know that Hendrik won't be able to make it today, so if need be, I'm going to step in and do moderation for the meeting today. So we'll just give another couple minutes for some folks to join.
Good morning.
Good morning, Jessica. How are you doing?
I'm good. How you guys doing?
Very good. Got my coffee in me. I'm ready.
Glad to hear.
It's getting so cold here in New York. We're at 26 degrees
Ah,
Fahrenheit.
that sounds delicious.
Yeah,
Michael, are you gonna go to Maintainer Days?
it's going to be in New York, right? Yes.
Yes. I don't remember you. I think I remember that you mentioned something that you were gonna go last TSC. Are you going to both Maintainer Days and Maintainer Member Summit and Maintainer Days, or just to one?
Is the members summit the more informal thing that they're doing in Jersey?
No, that's the more formal one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd love to go to both,
Okay,
actually, if you're
because if you're planning to go, I'm gonna post the link in the chat and I'm gonna need you to register. So I posted the link in the chat, but yeah, we will need your registration, and I'll let the events team know that you're working on it.
great. I'm looking at the link, and maybe I'm blind. I don't see a register button.
Scroll a little bit down, and where they say, wait a second. I wonder if they registration. Oh, there's a little bit. If you go a little bit down, registration now open. Check your member weekly or reach out. I think I think the registration link. What I don't know if it was removed recently, but if you can send an email to ecosystem@lfdecentralizedtrust.org. Um, in the meantime, I can let them know that you're trying to register. But yeah, go ahead and send an email, and if you can CC me, we can get the ball rolling.
I'll do that. Thank you.
Yeah,
I
no, thank
haven't
you.
been able to use Control F on my Mac for 2 days, and it's because I have not wanted to restart my Mac.
Oh, man.
Oh, wait. I found the link. One second. Try that link. I found it in one of the wikis.
Awesome. Okay, I'm
Yeah, so
registering
if
now.
you have any questions, just let me know. But yeah, it will be nice to see you there.
Absolutely.
Exactly, Milan. Okay, folks, we'll get started in just a minute here. Hendrik is not available, so I'll be stepping in to moderate the TSC call today. What I'll do real quick here is I'll just share my screen. Let me see here. Gotta find the right window, the right tab. All these open windows on my computer and no fresh air. Okay, so this is the agenda here. I can't see all the attendees here. Let me There, I got the chat here. Perfect. And can I see the participants? Great. Awesome. All right. So the agenda here is approving previous minutes. Just a heads up to anybody on the call here. We've got 3 pull requests in the TSC repo. So if we have, TSC members in the call, we've got, we need another approving review on this one. We need another approver on this one. And we need 2 approvers on this one. So we can kind of handle that async. But yes, there are 3 previous minutes ready to merge. I want to take a minute here and just on the next item on the agenda here. Do we have any updates, events from the communities or members? Now's a chance to kind of chime in and see if we have any updates from that side. Feel free to raise your hand or just chime in. Going once.
No, but just a reminder for folks, tomorrow we'll be hosting the Patchwork Syncing on AI Standards event. That'll be a 3-hour conference with a 1-hour unconference. I'll paste the link for the Luma in the chat if you guys are interested in attending that. It'll be really great. We just secured A to A, and they'll be speaking on this one as well. But we've got participation from IEEE, Linux Foundation, ERC 8004, ANS, interesting enough, GoDaddy, Ananda, First Person Project, Trust over IP, and so forth. So it's going to be a really great event, and we're super excited about it.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Michael. That's awesome. Make sure to check out that Luma link that Michael shared in the chat there. Sophie, I see that you have some updates on the Good First Issue progress and stuff. Yeah, feel free to share. We'd love to hear.
Thanks. I'll try and make this really brief. It's not, it's still in progress, but I did want to update. So am I able to, oh, I can't share my screen.
Maybe if I stop sharing my screen, would you be able then to share your screen?
Yes.
There we go. Perfect.
Okay, great. I just wanted to summarize some of the progress that we have made in creating templates for Good First Issue candidates. So what this enables you to do is whenever you want to create a Good First Issue, it pre-fills a lot of content for you. So it's like, hey, welcome to Hiero. We welcome, all these new beginners. We want to help you. We have all these emojis in there that describe the issue, propose a solution, and the implementation. We also make it really clear to people what is required so that you meet all the issue criteria. So this is great so that people feel confident that their pull request, even though they're new, is actually sufficient, is actually meeting the requirements. And so this is really nice to build their confidence. We have a step-by-step list of documents that you can look at every step of the way on how to fork, branch, and work on the issue, how to sign things, how to do changelog entries, and we have links to all these other things. So right now in the Python SDK, we are using this template, and it's as easy as you just create a new issue and you go create this new thing, and you can see, hey, it's pre-filling the title for you. So all our Good First Issues have this nice little formatting going on. You can edit the content that you want to welcome people. You get given examples. Hey, okay, what we're looking for is that you have an issue and it's really understandable to new contributors. So then we have an example on what that would actually look like. So it's a really complete template. It makes creating a Good First Issue as it just takes 5 minutes. We've taken most of the manual repetitive work out of you, and it will automatically assign the right labels and everything. So you can feel really confident that you contribute good first issues candidates. And yeah, that's kind of like an update. I think I will try and make a pull request to see if like we can work on some of the Hiero Ledger templates. For now, the generic Hiero Ledger template has had already some changes pushed. So if you create, I'm just using an example for the JavaScript one, but if you create a good first issue candidate in some of the other Hiero repositories, you will see quite a lot of the same features being pre-filled for you, how to do the contribution. Yeah, so that's in progress, and thank you very much for listening, and thank you for letting me have this opportunity to share the progress on the good first issues.
Hey, that's awesome. Thank you, Sophie. Wanted to give a minute here, see if anyone had any questions for Sophie. Feel free to chime in. Otherwise, we can move into the rest of the agenda here. Lots of claps in the Zoom. I love to see it. Seems like we're all good. Okay, so moving forward in the agenda here, we've got the HIPS project dashboard, which is fantastic. I love it. I haven't had a chance to review this myself. The thing that stands out to me is 1208, which is in review. I see that Ty Smith and some other folks here, I don't know if we have them in the call with us, but I wanted to see if there's any points of discussion for the HIPS dashboard and see if there was any updates from folks in the call that can provide updates. I see a couple folks in here that are in the call. So yeah, feel free to raise your hand, chime in and share any updates. And also if there's any other TSC member. Oh, sure. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, Mark here. I just wanted to say the records to block streams cutover, that is something we're targeting to get fairly soon, next few TSC meetings. It will go through a rewrite, so looking to do that through this week. But yeah, just wanted to mention that is probably the first one, the next one coming from my bucket of hips.
Gotcha. Really appreciate that, Mark. Thank you. Yeah, and I see we have some other TSC members on the call. So any direction on the dashboard if we have any particular things we want to dive into. But yeah, if anyone else has any other updates in regards to the hip tracker, feel free to chime in here. Okay, looking good. Okay. So let's move forward in the agenda here. That's the hip tracker there. So if anyone has any additional questions, feel free to throw something in the chat or whatever. We can circle back to it if needed. This is, yeah, for the second. Okay, so project proposals, voting, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is there we go. I had the wrong agenda open here. So now we're moving through project proposal voting for Hiero, HOL, HCS specs. Here's the proposal. There's been a lot of discussion in the group on this. We had some takeaways from the last meeting in regards to the naming. So I wanted to open the discussion here on this proposal. Michael, maybe I'll throw it over to you real quick, and then we can have a discussion about this and take it to a vote.
Thanks, Brandon. So good news. We had our biweekly DAO meeting at Hashgraph Online, and we spoke about the name for the proposal, and the DAO has agreed. We've had a majority vote to use the suggested name from the last meeting. So we moved from HOL specs to HOL HCS specs to Hiero consensus specifications. And we're good at that name. If we want to, we can make it shorter, Hiero consensus specs instead of specifications. I think the long form name is great. And as a form of continuity, it's also great because the specs are called HCS, so the acronym still sticks. And it's a good transition period once we move these into Hiero. So yay for letters working out. I think that from our side, I think this is a good position to vote. I don't know if we have any more outstanding things that we wanted to discuss before we go to vote. And then I guess the other question I have is, do we have enough folks from the TSC here to do a vote today?
Yes, that was a quick little look at the call here. We've got myself, we've got yourself, Michael, we've got Georgie, we've got Richard, we've got Milan, we've got let me look here. Is it, what maybe Richard, I can't recall off the top of my head.
Stoyan.
Yes, we got
Stoyan.
Stoyan here too. Yeah, I'm just scrolling through the list here. Yeah, Richard, what would I don't know the
Oh, the
threshold off the
number.
top of my head.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I think you're good. We have 6. So
Six,
6
okay.
of 9.
Awesome. Okay, so I think we can move forward with a vote. So I wanted to just before that see if that's if we're ready to do that as a group, and if there's any other things you wanted to add, Michael, if there's any points of discussion from the TSC members or the group, and if not, we could probably move forward with a vote. So yeah, just taking a beat here. Richard, I saw you unmuted, and Milan, I saw you unmuted as well.
No, it's okay. I was
Yeah.
just unmuted for the previous thing, just waiting my turn here once you start the vote.
Okay, no
Yeah,
worries, Milan.
I'm okay to vote.
Okay, so we'll move forward with the vote. So we'll go through with everybody here. So I'll start with myself. I'll vote with a yes, and I'll just go down the line here, kind of as I see it in Zoom here. I see Richard.
Yes.
Okay. Georgie.
I vote yes.
Okay. And I'm gonna go down here to Milan.
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna go to Stoyan.
Yes.
Okay, and the Zoom keeps jumping around here. Okay, perfect. And then can't on the spot here, can't recall the policies. I don't know if Michael votes on his own proposal in the TSC, but Richard, maybe you know that particular.
There is no rule against it.
Okay, Michael.
Then I vote yes as well.
Okay, so I think I got everybody with Zoom jumping around. We got myself, Michael, Georgie, Richard, Stoyan, and Milan. So I think we're all good. We've got a unanimous consent for voting the higher consensus specifications into the project. So huge congrats to Hashgraph Online and Michael, amazing work, and shout out to the TSC on all the hard work reviewing this. And I think very productive conversation that we've had. I've learned a lot through the conversations we've had about this in the TSC, so it's amazing. So shout out to everybody. I think this will be a great addition to Hiero. So yeah, we can move on. Michael, just wanted to give you an opportunity. Any last words until we move on to the next agenda item here?
No, I want to thank everyone for helping us shape this proposal up. I think it took us 3 weeks of Hiero meetings for us to get to a good spot here. Lots of conversations. So just huge thank you to everyone who participated in bringing this to life. And I think it's going to be a huge win for Hiero and the Hedera ecosystem as a whole as we bring this in. I think also would love to figure out next steps, but we can do that offline as well. Oh, well, Hendrik is here as well. Welcome, Hendrik. We just voted on the proposal for HCS and we got a majority, but happy for you to chime in as well if you'd like to.
Yes, welcome.
Then on that one. Yeah, I just wanted to know what happened so far. Thank you.
We're in from the point, if you want, I can hand the reins back to you, Hendrik. From an agenda standpoint, we've just finished the yes, as Michael said, the voting on the Hiero project here for the HOL. So now we're just in the wiki meetings and minute stuff. So I'm happy to continue moderating, but if you want to take the reins, feel free.
No, please do it. Thank you.
No problem. No problem. Sounds great. Okay, so now we're diving into the next agenda item here. And before we do, if anyone else wanted to chime in, feel free to jump in on the chat. Okay, so, and I see some questions from Sophie in the chat too, so we'll make sure to jump on that in the end there. So diving into the wiki for the meetings and minutes. This is really fantastic. Jessica, I know that you worked very hard on this. So maybe I wanted to just hand the mic over to you to give a rundown of this. Feel free to let me know if you want to share your screen, and we can kind of do a review of this if that's okay with you.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's fine. You can continue sharing. So this is how we're managing the any project meetings. I know that it's a little bit confusing if you don't see your community call listed in the menu in the right, or if you don't see a particular date that of your community call. So I added some instructions there on how to create a new meeting entry. If you have any questions, let me know. I think I put them as concise as I could, but let me know if this is helpful or if you have any questions other than that. We added at the very top upcoming events and announcements, so anybody is free to update any information for their events or anything that they want to announce here. By the way, everybody has permissions to edit this. They don't have to create a pull request or anything, so it makes it easier to edit. Just be careful when editing and accidentally not removing something that is necessary. And at the very bottom, you have the schedules for the community meetings and registration links. So if you have any other requests or things that you want to see here, or any suggestions for making this even better for usage, let me know. After all, this is all for you, so whatever helps you make this easier and better, just let me know and I can help out. Thank you.
Great update. Thank you, Jessica. This is fantastic. And yeah, I wanted to give an opportunity here for anybody who has questions and chime in. Hendrik, feel free.
Yeah, I don't have a question because I already know that, and I totally like that. I would like to just add one information that we learned while creating it. So having the wiki is not that everybody can edit it, or things like that. Like any GitHub repo, this is about like roles and privileges. And so far, we created a group containing all maintainers. So the idea is that all maintainers have write access here and be able to add agendas and add meeting minutes. And I like that idea, but I think that is something maybe that should be discussed. Should it be only the maintainer? Should we add the committers? Just as an additional information to that topic. And I think the other point is we should discuss if we move the TSC agendas and minutes then to this wiki too.
That's a really interesting thought. My 2 cents on that, or my 2 H bars on that is yeah, I mean, as I put together the minutes for the TSC, and we do them currently as pull requests, but I like the idea of having everything together. And I mean, I don't want the TSC to appear as some kind of like almighty group above everybody. It's just, it's just another group in this incredible community. And I think we can slot the TSC in here alongside all these other awesome groups. And I see us there, and it would be interesting to kind of adopt that similar flow. So I'm open to that. And maybe that's a bit of a transition, but those are my thoughts there. Um, yeah, just keeping the discussion open. Does anyone else have any points or thoughts or questions on the meeting minute and meetings wiki?
So I do have a question. Usually we require TSC approval for merging the PR with the minutes, right? I know that this is a practice that happened before I joined, but I'm just curious the reason behind requesting approval from the TSC members so that we can merge the minutes. Because if we move to this site, then that approval is not going to be necessary.
That's a good point. I think that the purpose and mechanism for that, as I kind of laid it out, is it's just a way to have a historical record of TSC members approving minutes. So it's like we can look back in the history and go, oh, these minutes were approved. Now, to your question, we could still continue that process, but potentially we could simply um, link out to those minutes or duplicate those minutes in the wiki because they won't change after the fact. So, those, maybe some thoughts around there. But Hendrik, I see you have your hand up as well.
Yeah, maybe I have some input here because I created this process.
Yeah.
So so the idea came from other working groups and committees where I'm part of, and where the agenda and minutes is, for example, creating by using Google Docs, right? And the process was there that at the beginning of a meeting, the docs of the previous meeting is approved just by two people saying, hey, we approve it. And since we decided to move to GitHub, having a pull request review just sounds reasonable, but that is not a must. That is, just coming from that. So if we say we move it to the wiki, and at the beginning of a TSC meeting, we say, hey, do two people approve the previous minutes or any objections on it, then I think we're totally fine here.
Yeah, I think I agree with that as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Very cool. Yeah, so we'll work and I'll transition my process into that, and I think that'd be awesome. So yeah, we'll move forward with that. Anyone else have any thoughts on this new wiki?
No, I think it's great. I'm really glad that we're doing it. I think the transparency is amazing, and I love that the process will be so simple that we don't need to do GitHub PRs for every little thing. So I think this is a great win for us.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, let's move through the agenda here and continue. So it's the wiki. So we have I lack context on this, but we do have a request to create a TSC mailing list as an easy way to contact all TSC members. So I wanted to see where this originates from, if it was a discussion point from the last meeting. Maybe I don't recall, but Hendrik, maybe you have more context on this point.
Yeah, I put it on the list, and it came originally from Jessica, who told me several times, and I was even asked the question by others, what is the best way to inform the TSC about something? It could be like, hey, I want to add something to the agenda. I have a question, whatever, And what often happens, people ping me, and I don't have a problem with that, but I think there are some points where it would be better if just the TSC is informed. And so my idea was to have a TSC mailing list. So the idea was not that the TSC now internally starts mail threads like an classic mailing list or something like that. The idea is more that we have a mail address, some kind of mail address where people can send a mail to you, and all people in the TSC get that email. That is the idea. So maybe it's not a mailing list, it's more like a mailing, I don't know how to call it. Like a mail address that is then sent to all TSC members. Yeah, that is the idea. And I think that would make it easier to reach us.
I agree with that. We do need to plan how are we gonna gather all this information. I don't know if TSC members just wanna reach out to Hendrik and where he can compile the information, and then I can go ahead and take that and create a mailing list with all those linked addresses. So is that the best way to go? Yep.
Yeah, I'd say
I
so.
can.
Sorry, I might have,
Uh-huh.
apologies, I might have missed it. But what is the hope and intention around the mailing list? Like, what do
So
we?
it's a way for us to be able to reach out to the TSC members outside of the TSC meeting. So, for example, recently I was reaching out to some of the email addresses from the TSC members that I had in hand for getting some of the previous meeting previous meeting minutes approved. So that was one example where I just took whatever email addresses I had in hand, but it would be nice to rather address the mailing list that goes to the TSC members, right? To make it a little bit more formalized. The other use case is, for example, I do have some topics regarding, for example, we have old project proposals that are still listed in the list of issues for the TSC. So if I have a question on like, hey, are we going to bring this up in the next meeting, or can we add this to the next agenda? What do you guys think? It will be a easy way for me to communicate outside of the TSC meeting with the TSC members. Or not only
Got
me, I
it.
mean, anybody can use the mailing list. So it will be a way for the community to reach out to the TSC members.
Got it. That makes a lot of sense. So it's basically like an internal channel for TSC members.
Yeah,
Um,
and I know that there was a request suggestion there from Milan of a Slack channel. I think it would be, and I don't know if you guys want like a Discord channel for this, but I think mailing list will be probably the best way to do this.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, on our end, like something like one thing that we utilize, like I don't know the platform that the TSC or Linux Foundation would use, but I know that like just as an example, at HGraph we use Google Workspace and you can create like groups. You can like add emails to a group, and then if you can create an address, and then if like someone sends an email to that address, it just goes to all those people. So I think that's what the setup is, and I like the idea of making it easy for the public to reach out to the TSC or any other folks to kind of like get a hold of all of us and not have Hendrik taking all the communications and
Yeah.
yeah, have a case of broken telephone or whatever.
Yeah, and we do have groups.io, I believe is what we use. We do have a mailing list for Hiero there, but it's never been used. I mean, that's where we would be creating the mailing lists.
Gotcha. So it's basically just a matter of getting all the TSC members, getting our email address we'd like to
Yeah,
use as a contact. I love it. Yeah, I'm
exactly.
totally down. I'm totally down. I love it. We could just have it.
And yeah, feel free to send it to Hendrik or feel free to send it to me. I know that not everybody has my contact information, but if whichever, I think it's easier if you guys send it to Hendrik and then Hendrik can forward it to me, since everybody has a way of reaching Hendrik.
Perfect. I'll make sure to send you my email, Hendrik, if you don't
Thank you.
already have it. Love it. I
Thank you
love
so
that
much.
idea. No problem. No problem. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Hendrik. Okay, so last item here on the agenda here is any other business. I wanted to jump back to Sophie. I know that you have a question. So Sophie, if you're still on the call, feel free to jump in, ask the question, and we can see if we can get you some answers. I saw you had a question in the chat there.
Thank you. Yes, it's an informal question because I haven't got a solution to it yet. So I'm just more like asking for help with what the usual procedure would be. But I've been working on Good First issues, as I mentioned in the beginning. And part of what I've been doing is trying to make it easier to create good first issues and learn what we're doing right with good first issues and where we can learn some lessons and how the good first issue status is going in Hiero. So as part of this, I did some analytics for the good first issue, but in that process, I realized we don't have a repository for it. Am I able to share my screen, Brandon?
Yes, here I'll stop sharing my screen, and yeah, feel free. Go ahead, Sophie. And just for the record, I love this idea that you're proposing.
So yeah, I've currently got a pull request to the governance repo because this is data analytics for governance, which is essentially what's the status quo on good first issues, what's happening with all the different repositories. So this counts, see if this loads. Oops, looks like my computer is struggling today, but yeah, it just counts like new contributors and good first issues and things. Let's see if we can scroll down. Okay, yeah, I apologies, I have computer issue today, but yeah.
Seems you're
My big
cutting out
question is we
a
don't
little bit
have
there.
to
You cut
integrate the
out there a
governance of
little bit,
Hiero.
Sophie. You cut out there a little bit, Sophie. Just wanted to capture what you just said.
Okay, I might have died.
I know we can still hear you. Maybe stop sharing your screen. Maybe it's just a bandwidth thing. Can you hear us still, Sophie? Damn, very cool idea. I can kind of see what it is. It's like generates.
Hi, yeah, it looks like
Oh, there we
doing
go.
analytics has slowed down my computer
Okay,
irrevocably.
you're
And
back now.
okay, yeah, so maybe I'll just give the link to the pull request, and I don't know where to do this pull request. We don't have an analytics repository. Okay, I will stop.
Gotcha. Okay, so I'm pretty sure we got most of that. So basically, what you're saying is we've got some really cool ideas
Talking because
for.
I think my
Oh,
computer's playing up.
okay, yeah. You're just cutting in and out there. Hendrik, feel free. I see your hand up there.
Yeah, so I talked with Sophia already about it, so maybe I can jump in here. So what Sophie did is, and I think that is great, she created some Python scripts doing analytics on good first issues. And she created a pull request against the government repo for it. And my point here was that I like to have those reports in the government repo, but I dislike to have code in the government repo. So Sophie's question was then what she wrote into the chat. Hey, I would like to have a repository where to store those Python scripts, where to store those code. And I agree with her. I think we need to split it, have like reports in government and then have the code somewhere else. I do not have any preference for the code. I think we should start a discussion here if we want to create a repo just for, hey, those are, some scripts and code snippets we use for reporting and whatever, because I think creating a new repo for each reporting script would be wrong. That is just the context, and I assume that is where Sophie wanted to talk about. And if not, sorry for that, but that is my understanding of the topic.
Perfect. Thank you for the summary, Hendrik. Oh, I just saw Sophie rejoined here, so maybe Sophie, let's see if your microphone's working.
Sincere apologies. Yeah, key question is data analytics for Hiero governance. Is that part of the governance repository? Should that be a separate analytics repo, which does governance as well as maybe analytics and other things? I don't know what the procedure would be for something like that. Have we considered analytics before at Hiero?
Gotcha. Just chiming in here myself, and then we'll open it up, make sure other people can chime in. Is in general, I see this as a definitely a gap in the Hiero kind of repos and the governance stuff as well, is like I think that it's brought up often in this group, and different statistics and analytics are shared in this group, which I think provide awesome insight. But I definitely think that there's a lack of those types of metrics and charts and analytics available for folks in the Hiero community, especially on some of these particular things at the Good First issue. So I think it's a great idea. I hear Hendrik about not wanting to have code in the governance repo, which makes sense, having it being informational, just markdown files. So off the top of my head, I kind of, maybe there's some kind of analytics or reporting repo where we could report on all sorts of different things and have different scripts and different artifacts and ways in which to measure those things. But yeah, I'm curious to see what other folks in the call have in regards to thoughts. Those are my thoughts. Hendrik.
One point I currently cannot say because I have not got deep into the Python script. But maybe that is again like only the script, right? Not the reports, but maybe the script is again something that should not be discussed here in the Hiero TSC, but moved up to the Linux Foundation. Because if that is a generic script creating reports about the usage of good first issues, I think that could be a win for many projects. Just as
Good
another
point.
thought about that.
That's a good point. Yeah, thoughts from anyone else? Lots of good conversation around this.
Does the Linux Foundation Decentralized Trust have analytics repo?
I don't know. but then we can move that discussion away from us. No, but what they have is a gap which, where it's way easier to create a repository and things like that. So I think it's a discussion, and if they say we are not interested because it's too specific or whatever, we can bring the discussion back to Hiero.
I don't think so. There's a repo like that at the moment, but isn't this something that we wanted to talk in the tag or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
I assume so. Maybe for the people who don't know, this week at the tech, we have a slot where Sophie will take it and present what we, and then especially with the Python SDK, did about good first issues. And our goal is to get some of the things we created up to LFDT. So we want to have good GitHub actions that give newcomers good documentation and information if, for example, the signing is not working in their commits. And that should not be Hiero specific, right? That should be one level above. And I think exactly those scripts that we now have here can be added to that discussion. Does that make sense to you too, Sophie?
So I think there would be a benefit to have, we can always learn from other projects in the LFDT, and being able to track what's happening and everything, all of that's useful information. At the same time, having some analytics that's Hiero specific, that allows us to create custom things based on our needs could also be valuable. For example, if I'm working in the Python SDK and I want to know how effective is the good first issues at grabbing the new contributors and what's their churn rates and all of these kinds of things, that might not be that's more detail oriented. That could still be valuable to have within Hiero in some place.
Yeah. I'm not saying we do not want it, right? I'm just trying to understand what is the best place, and maybe there are content that makes sense in LFDT. Maybe there's next to it content that makes sense in Hiero. But if LFDT decides, yeah, we want to have it, and we create a repository named like that, then we could reuse that pattern as an example. So
Great discussion. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you for creating all that.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. Okay, so moving through, just any other business. Just wanted to see if there was any other folks that had any updates from their side, any questions, ways that they need any support. Feel free to chime in. Okay, well, looks like we're 15 minutes ahead of schedule here. Hendrik, do you think it's good to sign off for the week here for the TSC? I think we're good to go, everybody. So yeah, appreciate it. Right on. Thank you. And it was awesome to see you join today, Hendrik. I was like, oh, I hope we see Hendrik today. So it was great to see you pop in. Awesome stuff. I love it. Okay, take care, everybody. Have a great rest of your week.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.